Hi, I'm Mélanie Charbonneau. I'm the director and co-writer of Outstanding. I wanted to create a space where I could invite the amazing collaborators behind the film to talk about the craft that went into building this epic and intimate film. None of it would have been possible without the team you'll meet in this series. Today, in our very first episode, I'm sitting down with Nina Kiri, the powerhouse actress who brought to life the role of Sandra Perron, Canada's first female infantry officer. We'll talk about her incredible performance that demanded full-on commitment. This is Crafting Outstanding. So Nina, I'm so excited to see you. I just saw you yesterday. No, 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
But like meeting you for this film was such an incredible, like creative collaboration. We fell in love, basically. We were expecting a baby. I wanted like, so I'm making this podcast because I want to talk about the craft behind the project. I think all of the collaborators did incredible work on Crafting Outstanding, and you're a big part of it because you're Sandra. Sandra, the main character of the film, who in the 90s was the first female infantry officer. So maybe let's just start with the beginning. So what did you think of the story when you read it? Like, what was your first thought when you read the
script?
The script.
Yeah. Okay. So when I read the script from just the audition, I was like, I wonder how much of this is true. Like, I was like, this can't be what happened. It's so many things. And it felt like, did they make up some of this just to make it seem like her story was more intense? And then after the first tape that I did, I read the book and I was like, oh my God, this isn't even everything that happened to her.
Yeah.
In the script. And then once I read the book, I thought like, I actually thought I'll skim through the book because I don't have much time and the callback was happening in a few days. But then I started reading it and I was like, this is so good. And I actually had the thought like, I'm so grateful for this audition because I get to know this person's story, and the memoir is so like tension filled. It's just a really, really impressive story on its own. And then once I knew what the real story was and I went back to reading the script, I was like, the script did such a good job of keeping the tension that's in the memoir while also bringing it over to a more like visual medium. Anyway, and then but I didn't really have time to think about that. I just was like, wow, it actually is really similar. And it holds that like, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen to Sandra next? What's going to happen to Sandra next? And I had the thought of like, this is going to be really hard to not just feel like the whole movie is saying, look how sad this is for her. Yeah. Like, it's going to be hard to empower her in the movie as opposed to just make you feel bad for her. And then when I met you, I was like, wow, she's so cool. And like, I don't know, I was just like, it felt so like we just had a similar way of talking. And then like the things you were saying to me in the callback, I was like, oh, wow, this is so my way of wanting to work. Yeah. And then after I got cast, we didn't talk for a while, but we met on Zoom and we were both like, like, it was just like so, and I was like, oh my God, she gets it. Like, you know, It wasn't like, hi, Nina. Like, you were literally like, and I was like, and then it was just like, I just wanted to like kiss you or something. Yeah. And it just felt like, oh my God, thank God. Like we have the same energy. Yes. Of like just wanting to do something and not be, I don't know, just be open about everything that's happening and everything, the way that we want to shoot it. And like, that was such a relief because I feel like I have such high energy, and also this movie had to be high energy. Yes. And so the fact that you had high energy, I was like, oh, thank God. Like, this is going to be, we're going to be able to go there together.
Yeah. And I think Sandra had
Yes,
high energy.
yes, yeah.
Like when you're reading the book, it's so intense. Like the energy of this book, it's like you immerse yourself in her inner world, in her inner thought, but also in what is it to be in the military and what's the training, what she had to go through in terms of like just the training of military, but also all the harassment, the violence. And it's so intense. And I felt the same way when I read the book. It was just like turning pages. Like I think I slept like 5 hours. It's before I had a baby, but I was just like reading that book in one day straight.
Same.
But that's one thing it struck me in your edition. It's like Sandra has such an inner world that nobody knows about it, but because she needs to stay straight-faced, she needs to, she kept so much inside for so long because she wanted to be the first. She wanted to break that glass ceiling. And I could, I have shiver. I could sense it in your audition. I could sense like that you read the book, that you felt that you had all like that you capture. And that's what I like about actors. Like, I think you capture everything and you had it inside of you. Like she did. Like,
yeah, I was always like, I remember when I first met her, I was like, Sandra, why didn't you like, and it's so immature of me and also of my generation to be like, you should have just said something. Like, I was like, why? And then she's like, Nina, like, it's just, that's not what it was like.
Yeah.
There was no option of not keeping it inside of you. Because if you didn't keep it inside of you, you're either like kicked out or you'll leave or like you just didn't have the option to do it any other way.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that I was so like, how could you, like, no, those people, are you so mad? And she was like, no, I'm really not. And I just thought to myself, like, whoa, there's so much more here to understand about her, like, that I still haven't understood. And then that was like, when we started going through the script, it became so much more obvious the ways in which she had to hold back. And then the ways in which she had to forgive to survive mentally.
yeah.
But also because she's an extraordinary person, like truly. And I remember she said to me in one of our meetings, like, Nina, hurt people. And like, you have to have some sympathy for them because why are they doing that? They're hurt.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is her story to tell, but one of the worst perpetrators wrote her a letter and said, I'm really, really sorry for everything I did. I was competitive with you. I was mad in my own life. I had my own problems. And what I did to you was so based on where I was at in my life. And I'm so sorry. And then she sent him a letter back and was like, I completely forgive you. Truly, you're a part of the Pepperoni Club. I forgive you. And then he passed away like 2 months after that.
What?
From I think he was sick or something. And his widow is now one of Sandra's best friends.
I didn't know that story. I knew part of it, but I didn't know the ending of it.
Yeah. And I don't know, I just think like those types of people really change the world. Like they do. If we're talking about someone who made a mark, I think she made a mark because of her ability to understand people, not just as an officer, understand people and why she did such a good job on her tours that she did, but like also as a human being who could offer empathy in a moment when no one else could offer empathy. I think that's what makes Sandra actually extraordinary.
Yeah. I think she's the person that I feel she became, and she is, in like, when she became an officer, the person she wanted the other to be with her. Yeah. Like, there's something that's so incredible about this woman. Like, she's as a type of leadership that is influencing me still. Like, every time I'm meeting her, she's saying something that I'm like...
I know, I'm like... I've never thought of
the trust that she put in me of bringing her story into life. Like, her story is really complex. I think it could have been like taken in a different ways by different people. And I wanted to stay true to her experience. But she trusts me so much that I was working so hard to make it like to respect her, and respect her experience. That's true leader, like really respecting the talents of other, and like so basically she taught me something about my job of being director, of just trusting the other and just like believe in them, and they will give you the best of themselves.
So true.
But you talk about meeting her.
Yes.
How was it? Like, I don't remember when exactly it was in the process of...
End of January, beginning of February.
Yeah, so I casted you, like, we fell in love in January. And then, maybe a month later, like at the beginning of the process, I wanted you to meet her because I think that Sandra of 2023 of 20 is totally different from the Sandra of the past, but there's still like she went through all of this, but at the same time there was something in her energy and her light. I think this woman has a light.
And she is a very light person. Yeah. If you think about how heavy things that have happened to her are, she holds none of it on her shoulders anymore. Yeah.
So so how was it meeting her?
Yeah, like so I think I was just nervous thinking, oh my God, like this is literally the person I'm going to be embodying. Yeah. It's so intimidating. And she was so just like, hi. And I was like, she's so nice. She's so easy and so healed in a way that you feel just really safe talking to her. When I thought maybe she would be, I don't know what I thought, but I can imagine that from her point of view, it's like, this person's going to be playing me. She's going to be like watching me or something like that. Not at all. She was just like there for me, listening to me and answering me as much as she could. In the end, I was like telling her about my own problems. And she really listened. Like we listened to each other, and it felt like an exchange. Yeah. I also didn't want to feel like I was interviewing her or something. Like I didn't want to come with questions and be like, "What do you think about this? What do you think about with this?" Like that didn't feel like the right way to experience her. So we kind of just had a conversation, and we both asked each other questions and just discussed different things about like her life, but also life in general. And that felt like such a nice, easy way of meeting her. And then like the more I saw her, the more I talked to her, the more her like aura became so clear. I don't know, remember when her and her family came to be background on the speech scene? Yes. And I saw them and I just like couldn't stop crying because they're so pure. They're really true. They're pure people. There's no other intention behind them. Yeah. And it's so rare to meet people like that. It felt like just like a glowing, like I was in the outfit coming out of the car to go into, I think it was like the Greek Center where we in Montreal. And they came down the street and she went, Nina. And I was like, oh my God. Like,
and then their dad and her mom.
Her mom, and they're
part of the film, like their character in the film.
And you know what they went through with her.
Yes.
And you know the inspiration that she got from her own dad. And then, I don't know. And then at one point you like walked away and she went, Mel. And you turned around and she went, Je t'aime. I was like, oh God, there's just so much openness in that whole situation when she could have been like gripping on. Yeah. She could have been like, no, this is not like this is what it was. And she just empowered us to do what we could do based on meeting her and everything in her story. Yeah. So that I just also appreciate about her. And it also like shows in the type of person she is.
And did you like meeting her, did you took some like bites of her to like build a character? What was it part of your process of creating Sandra?
Well, I realized something when I met her that made me feel so much less pressure. It was like there's a lightness to her that I possess too. Like almost like I wouldn't say like for me it's kind of a childlike quality that I know I've always had. With her it's like lightness. It is childlike. There's to be a child is to not have the weight of a life on you. Yeah. And when I saw that in her and I recognized it in me, instantly so much of my fear vanished, because I was like, there's something fundamental about us that's similar, and I don't feel like I have to now, like, I have to try and be her, you know, because, well, I'm being her through me, you know, and because I possess something that's so similar to her, it just felt, it really empowered me in a way, or like it made me a lot less afraid of starting the process, because up until then I was kind of like, I was doing so much of my own work because I wanted to do this perfectly, you know, and there was so much fear in like, what if I'm not good? What if I'm not good? What if I'm not good? And then all of a sudden I had this realization, like, this entire time she's saying, what if I'm not good enough? What if I'm not good enough? That's like exactly how I feel right now. Yeah. And then in addition to that, with that like innocence or something that I felt in her that I've also felt in myself, those two things made me just let go a little bit and allow myself to like take it in without the pressure of being perfect. Yeah. Yeah. So, and let's talk, so you talk about the process. It was we talked a lot about the script, like we worked together, like meeting every week prior to filming, talking about different steps in Sandra's life. But there was also part of this film that was physical training. Yeah. I made you train. There was different type of training. There was, I think, in the story, Sandra was really in shape when she trained for Infantry. She was always somebody that was really like training, and so you needed to be fit to impersonate Sandra. Like there was something that, but there's also military training, because we're meeting Sandra in infantry training, but at the step where they already know a lot of stuff about how to hand a gun, like how to hold a gun, how to like put the equipment on, like, so you had to learn all of this. So tell me about this training, what I put you through, but also how fun, like, for me, it was like, I think there's not that much opportunity for women to have role that ask for that physicality. Yeah. And I wanted us to make, like, I really wanted on screen to feel that Sandra was belonging and that physically she was as fit as the other men, so we could believe that she would stand out among them. Yeah.
Yeah, and that we could believe she had her place, and that it will like, or she deserved her spot in the military. So tell me about that.
Yeah, I think there's like the side of her that's really fit and can do chin-ups and all that thing is very literal. It's just like, train hard and then you can do it. Get like practice for months and you can do this thing. But there was like a essence of her spirit that I literally felt once. Like I was thinking to myself, she's always in situations where it's like, I can't go any further. And yet I have to. Yeah. And I was trying to put myself in those situations for the months leading up to it. Like, okay, this is an example. I was swimming a lot, so I would do weight training and then swim. And I had watched that movie Naiad with, and I was so inspired by that movie, because it's another example of someone who is like, can't go further, but she has to, like, there's just, and so anyways, I was swimming, I was inspired by Naiad, I was thinking about Sandra, and like, I was just like, I don't think I can do another lap. And then I was just like, this is what it's like. And I just like kept going, and my body felt this like euphoria of determination. And I don't know, I just, feeling that felt like I just found something. Like I just got something.
And this is such a huge part of Sandra's story. When you read the book, she talks so much about the training, the physicality, the way she had to push through. Yes. And it felt to me so exhilarating reading the book. Yeah. And I wanted like your performance to be this, to show that.
Exactly. Because you can work out in the comfort of a gym. It's like, that is all really literal. Yeah. Like, it's just kind of like step by step by step. But it was more important to me to understand the feeling of like, what does it feel like when you can't feel your legs anymore and you just keep going? It's like the final lap when you're running and you can't feel your legs at all, but you're just like, it's like I just went past something I thought I couldn't do. And I know that feeling well when I was a kid and I did like competitive gymnastics, but like as an adult, especially because I've had my own injuries, it's hard to get into that position, into that feeling.
Yep.
So I like swimming was my way of going there, and my way of being like, I can't keep going. I can't possibly do another lap, but I'm going to do 10 more, but like, and in those 10 more, my brain is shutting off. And I'm just like singing one song in my head over and over and over again. Because I also noticed like songs, like I had a little Spotify playlist with her, the songs that she talks about in the book. And I was thinking about how, I think she says in the book a few times that she's going like this, and then the song from Apocalypse Now is in her head, and I was thinking about the power of music and turning your brain off and just going. That made me feel closer to her experience. So that was a part of the training that again, just like when I had that realization about her and me having a similar attribute, that made me feel like I'm on my way to understanding something bigger than just getting fit for a role. Yeah. Yeah.
And you told me that story that when you got the role, the next day you were just like, you start doing chin-ups.
Yeah. I was like, I started doing like I started prepping to do chin-ups.
Yeah, because it was a big part of the script, because like in the movie, every time they finish training, they have to do chin-ups. Mm-hmm. So it was part of the script. It was a bit kind of scary to do like that amount of chin-ups or being like in those scenes of like, so you did.
I was like, I have to start now.
Yeah. I have to
in December.
Yeah. And you were so impressive, like on set. And I feel that this is something that kind of percolate on set of you pushing through. Mm-hmm. Because like we shot the film in 25 days. Yeah. It was kind of a big challenge. We had lots of military training sequences and and sometimes, we have to do takes and another round and we have to do different angle. And you were always like there pushing through, like, and for everyone, even for all the other soldier, all the other actors who were playing soldier, we were like, we had to go kind of in the same mindset that military has to go through. I'm thinking, and like in the military training, they have to go into some sort of exhaustion. Yeah. Like this is
past anything you ever feel comfortable doing.
Exactly. Because this is when your mind's gonna, like, this is when you're gonna become weak and you're gonna say the codes to the enemy if you get captured or so. I think it's several times we got into, everybody, including the production and the team, got into that like exhaustion moment because we were filming night scene, like in the cold and but I guess it created like, and I don't like making film and like suffering making films, but it was part because of the process of the scene that we were shooting that we had, like, it's always physical to shoot a film. So I remember you just being like so into it. So like
I was
like that scene when you're like crawling underneath and I'm like,
you're like more. And I was like, what?
I'm like, you should look like, I was going through you said, you should look like you're going a bit faster than everyone else. Like if we want, and you're just like, okay, I'm going back. Ariel, are you there? And you're just like pushing. And it was just like, and you impressed me so much, like doing the monkey bars, doing the like.
Yeah, everyone was so impressed with the monkey bars. I think because I used to do gymnastics, it was so easy. And I looked over and I saw Antoine, and he was like, and like even Adrian, who's so strong. Yeah. I'm like, I guess this leads to the like when someone's like has like the body like gymnast, like it's so easy to maneuver your body when you're smaller. And then all these like really butch guys were like.
And then you could see Nina going like monkey bar, super easy. Like, so it felt like you were, again, it was kind of being Sandra, like feeling how Sandra felt at different point because she was good at what she was doing. Yeah. I just want to go back a little. I went into training a bit fast. I wanted to, I have surprise for you, like little thing I want to, Easter egg. So I want to show you your audition tape.
Okay. I don't really want to watch it, but I'll watch it.
No, I just think it's like, so I want to talk about the craft. I want to talk about where you started and what a scene became or the process of it. So I want to show you audition tape. So we talk about how you came into audition and the process of from audition to like shooting Sandra, like starting filming. So
okay.
I think I should be in a tent with the other trainees weren't.
And how is that going to be any better?
Isolating me sends the wrong message.
And what's that?
That I'm not like everyone else.
It's pretty clear that you're not.
Warrant, if I am to lead a platoon, I need to be with the soldiers, not against them.
One thing at a time. Let's see how well you do in this phase.
I know. It's so fun to watch, huh?
I mean, fun isn't the word.
No. For me, yeah. But for me, it's fun because when I saw you, I was just like, I found my Sandra. Oh. Like, there was something in that, like I knew it.
I felt really calm and prepared because I felt like I knew it so well because I had really like done the work. And so it didn't feel like, oh, I have to get this audition. It was just like, this is so enjoyable because I got to read this amazing book and there was no pressure. It felt like, in a way.
And like, I feel when I'm watching it, I feel that you can see, like I said, in your eyes, everything is spinning in her head, you know? Like in this specific scene, like there's guys that attacked her in her tent the night before. And she's like, and it's because they put their tent away and she's by herself. And like she said, if you're treating me like man, I should be in tent with the other guys. And like that situation wouldn't happen. Like, and so you can see like what she's keeping.
Yes, she always has to maneuver her needs into a way that fits into a place that doesn't account for her needs.
Yeah.
So it's how do I not show my fear, but also get something that I need right now, but maneuver my way of asking so that it makes sense for you.
Yeah.
And that is, there's so much that happens when you're trying to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that brings me into something when we work Sandra, so the film has two timelines. So we follow Sandra as she starts infantry training and all the whole process, but also there's a second timeline, which is like 5 years later, when she actually comes back from her last mission and that she gave her resignation letter to the military. So there's kind of a two Sandra in the film. And you can really see the difference between them. There's one that's kind of fresh.
A puppy, like so excited. Like I always think of the part in her book when she said, I felt like a puppy who was just running along with everyone else.
Yeah.
And she was like, she got to do a training session with, the infantry before they had women in it. And they were like, okay, you can come along. And she was so excited. She did a cartwheel. And like a roll, and she was like, ah! Like that's how I see her in that first part.
Yeah,
just wide-eyed and like just let me on the field, coach vibes.
And it was like two women, also one that had a dream that like really wanted to be, and Sandra wanted to be an infantry officer, but she was also wanted to be. Sorry, I'm forgetting the.
The paratrooper. Yeah.
So she wanted to be a paratrooper. So like she had to grow, like her goal was the highest kind of in the military, like kind of and and so that she had this big dream, and this is kind of a one sequence, but as she goes through, you can see her dream like fading, and the fact that she has to go through all the harassment, the small violence, daily violence from the other trainee, but also the structure of the military that's kind of blocking her progress.
Totally. Or not even allowing her to have progress in a way.
But also you see her coming back from Croatia, from her last tour, and she's a different person because her dream
happened.
Like her dream is over.
When
she comes back
Yeah.
So, and I remember us really talking about, like, I remember telling you sometimes on set when we were in the youngest Sandra, and I was just like telling you, this is not Sandra Bax from Croatia. Like, it was hard because we had to switch from scenes from, like, in the same days. Sometimes we were shooting scene of young Sandra, and it's like I'm saying young Sandra, and some Sandra coming back from Croatia with that
heaviness of knowing that.
So you had to switch constantly from those two. I felt for me it was two character, basically
Wow, so interesting. I didn't feel that, but I remember you being like, okay, remember this is her like second abortion, or and I was like, oh, there's so much. Okay, now there's the heaviness of all the stuff that was put on her.
Yes.
And that was like the only. But yeah, it's funny. I don't even remember that being something that that I thought about.
Yeah, but it's something that for me was that we needed to see the difference, because we had in the whole film see the progress of her, like, but you're making it so seamless, like it was just like I'm a professional. We talk about the physical training, but there was also the military training. We made this boot camp.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that. Like, so.
Yeah, I think it was really helpful for everybody because it's like, it's such a area that I have absolutely no experience in with the military.
Yeah.
I still feel it's just, I only learned what I had to know for the movie. And then, so to be in the situation means so much because it feels like you're almost like by osmosis just being there in like the regiment where we were.
Yeah, and we trained in the regiment.
We trained in the regiment.
Yeah.
It just was like, okay, now I can start to be like, oh, this is what it's like. And then I remember being in the bathroom and some of the like female military personnel coming in, and I was like, wow, like, you know, like this is that. And they were kind of just like doing that. And I would just like watch them and think, okay, this is the type of everyday life that they go through. So that in itself, I think, was important just to be in the space. Yeah. But having having them take us through exactly what happens when you're training for an, like, go, and take us into that physicality, because we kept doing the same, like they'd be like, again, like you're not walking the right way, you're not the right way, you're not like saluting the right way. And it just felt like, oh my God, this is really what it's like. And also, I'm going to have to practice it on my own to get it into my body. So that meant a lot. So much of like preparing for something is your brain feeling like, okay, now I get it. So I feel like I have the right to play it. Yeah. You know? Yeah, yeah. And like, that's what that did for me, at least. And I think for everyone else too, because we were like looking at each other like, whoa, this is what it's really, really like. And when they're like, do it again, do it again, do it again, do it again. And like the 10th time you're doing it again, you're like, I can't. And then you're like, all of a sudden you did it without thinking. Yeah. And that feels like what you have to be in the military. You have to not be able to think about anything. It's in your body at all times. And obviously, as an actor, that you're not going to get to that place, but to experience what it feels like, even for a day to get to that place, I think made a huge difference. Yeah. And I remember seeing you on day one. I think that it lasts like 3 or 4 days, like kind of. Yeah. And seeing you guys on the last day, like the progress. Yeah. That was like, and it was such a interesting experience to see actors, like creative actors, meeting military people. Yeah. And finding common ground. Yeah. There was like a point, even while we were shooting, because we had help from the military, like in Valcartier, and like, so
we had them helping us like building sets or like, and there was kind of a weird at one point that like how cinema work and how military work
like when it like went together. I know it was like a team when Louis was like, I think in this scene, and he gave like such good direction to all of us.
Yeah, because we had 2 military consultants all the time with us, because one of the things I wanted with the film is to really respect and military the way like the feedback of Sandra. One of the things for Sandra that was important is that what we show all the military action, like the way you salute, the way you hold a gun, the way the exercise takes place, how it's it needs to be realistic. Otherwise, military won't believe the story. And for me, it was so important that we believe Sandra's story and that she shined into that story, that I was just like, it needs to be so tight. It needs like every time she's saluting, every time she's moving, we need to believe in her. And so we had the 2 military consultants with us on set looking at, but to get that, we needed you to train. So when you get on set, you're not like the first
learning it as we're shooting the scene.
But also there was also like, I feel that was also this about the equipment. Like there's so much equipment on like that infantry soldier needs to wear and understand, putting gas mask on, putting like, and it was so crazy to see you train this way, like, and to reach that level. Yeah, it was super interesting.
It was so interesting. And also, like, we were all so, like, gung-ho. No, we want to do it the right way. And it just, like, everyone was so excited about the other person. I feel like the military people were so excited about making a movie, and we were so excited about being in their space.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of enthusiasm between the two, like, I don't know.
And there was so much hard work on your side. Like you were we're not getting it right. We're going to do it again. Like everybody had the same goal of making it true. Like,
so true.
So let's have a look. There's one scene I wanted to show. Like there's a couple scenes, but this one I think shows well what we had to train for. I'm just going to get the film. So it's a scene of military training where the infantry are like doing a raid in a compound. And there's a lot in that scene because you can see how much like, so you're doing everything in the scene. So you're going through all the raid, but also you're doing some of the stunts there of the fighting. And also there's like, I want to tell like, well, let's have a look at this amazing scene.
Clear! Clear! Fuck! Calm the fuck down, Laser! Fucking bitch.
Go cry outside.
Oh, it's so satisfying that putting the gas on.
Gas clear! Gas clear! Gas clear! Gas clear! Drift out to the west for decon!
We were exhausted. Like, I was literally like,
You've just been exposed to mustard gas! Sulfur mustard is burning your skin! It's in your eyes! Get your
God, I forget how good this movie is.
Hey! Keep it on. Put your shit over there! Over to the side!
This was so. This was the hardest day.
Yeah.
And it ended with this.
Too slow to mask up and too slow to get out. feels like. This is what that and incompetence feels like. Oh, you don't like it? You guys, they don't seem to like it. How many times do I have to fucking kill you before you learn how to stay alive? Wrap this up.
All right, get dressed. Regroup at the bivouac.
Oh, God.
That day was insane.
It was. So, tell me a bit about, like, hold on, I'm just gonna put back. Yeah, so that day was, it was an intense day of shoot, of training.
Yeah.
I felt like we were in the military.
That was like the most like, but it's so crazy because like, you know, everything that happened. Like I hurt my foot. Like I feel like it was the most physical day of the whole shoot.
Yeah.
And by the time we got to the fight scene, I was like, I'd been crying. Like it was just like a difficult day mentally and physically. And then like, that was just such an exhilarating scene. I was like, I'm so happy to be alive. Like, I don't know. It's just, there's something about like when everybody is doing such a good job, you just feel like this is the joy of making these things. Like, this is the joy of collaboration.
Yeah.
Everybody's there. Everybody's on. That fight scene, like we had practiced it and then we did it and it was so good. It felt like there was no acting involved because everything was so real. Like that wasn't a made up set. It was a real house that they probably practice in.
Absolutely.
In Valcartier. Everything was real. All the different rooms. You know, Antoine is such an amazing actor. All those guys are such amazing actors. And then to do that scene and like even like the like go cry outside, it was just came out of me. I didn't even think about it. And ending the day with getting just like at night it's freezing cold and then something else that was so exhilarating is like the scene ended and everybody was like putting on their things and I just thought like, hold on, wait, Ariel's still there with the camera. I'm just going to keep doing the scene because I know I've read the script so many times. I know exactly what happens. And that's also a really nice feeling when you're like, I am so in this. I know everything. Like, I don't have to wonder. I don't have to be like, wait, should we keep going? It's like, no, we're going. And then I was just like, and I remember like some of the guys were just like looking at me like, is she like, what are you doing? Like, why are the scenes over? Like they yelled cut. And I was just like, no, because then this happens and she looks over and then she takes it and then she puts on this. And I was like,
and I was at the monitor watching and I was just like, I'm keeping rolling this. Like, it was like, it's because we talked so much about those scenes and because the O's down scene, we rushed it.
We didn't have time to do a second one. Yeah. And I had the thought, if we don't do this now, we won't get the footage.
Exactly.
Because we're already overtime. And then I'm like, well, we have to do it now.
And we got it.
That's like, to me, that's literally the thrill of making a movie. Like, it's like, there's nothing more exciting to me than those types of situations where you're just like, just do it. Like, yeah, it feels like, I'm sure a similar thrill that Sandra feels in the military of like, against all odds, like we have to figure this situation out.
Yeah.
You know, and there's always going to be odds. Yeah. In film, it's mostly money and time. But like when you can do something in those odds, it's the most like satisfying feeling. And like, even though that day was mentally and physically like the most exhausting day, I was like exhilarated by the end.
It was so crazy. It was also the end of 5 days of shooting into military sets, like doing like gunshot, like training, montage, sequence. And but it brings me to this. We had kind of a great cohesion and collaboration between Ariel, you, and I. I think we should talk a bit about it.
We should. And it was like innocent, but also professional.
And also necessary for the type of filmmaking we were doing. Yeah. Because the camera needed to be so intimate with Sandra and you that I feel that you need to have the trust in Ariel. Like, there was kind of a dance at the end. Like, this scene is a great example of that dance. Yeah. because we made you do so many crazy things. Like when we start working on the film visually, I wanted to be the film to be immersive as the book was. So I was just like, how can we make some scene immersive? Mm-hmm. And one of the idea was like, let's put the camera where Sandra is. So there's the capture scene when you get captured for the that we were just like they're putting her head into a jute bag, and I was just like, I want the camera to be inside the jute bag. There's a hazing scene where your head is being put into the toilet. And I
want a camera in the toilet. What? That's what it felt. Yeah, it was.
But it felt like we made this joke. Yeah, that was so fun. Of like, we felt so many times that we were like 11 years old. Yeah. I think you should do it instead of me. You're the actor.
No, you would be like, okay, so Nina, it's like you.
It's like you know those crazy ideas when you're a kid.
When you're a kid.
And you're starting to film. Like I was that with my sister, and you probably were that. And we were just like, so I have this idea. I'm going to put the camera into the toilet. Nina's going to put her head in the toilet. Ariel, you press record. You're like, and I was like, okay, I'll do that. Like,
no, it was like we're like two friends as kids being like, I think we should do this, and then we like knock on Ariel's door and like, Ariel, can you bring your dad's camera out? And then he's like, sure. And then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna jump off a cliff. Ariel, you're gonna jump off with me. Then Mel's gonna catch me. She's gonna catch you, and we're gonna get the scene. Like it was just like so playful and fun. Like truly, it felt just like true collaborative spirit. Like that spirit felt so light and fun, which is, I think, what it should be for people to be able to like have the space. I remember one time we were doing a scene and we were trying to figure it out. Like it was like, not this, not this, not this. And someone was like, okay, like giving so many ideas. Yeah. And we were like, wait, this is the joy of it. Like, let us find it right now, me and you, because it's about Sandra. You and I get it.
Yeah, we've been working for months on like getting Sandra, getting it right.
Getting it right and the truthfulness of a scene. So like there was such joy in finding that together. And you and Ariel and I are all so open in that way. And he was honestly so the way he was with us, I think, was just so open. And there are other people who maybe would have been like, no, I don't know this. But the way he was just made the whole process so much better for us because he just supported us. Yeah. You know, like whatever idea you had and then sometimes I had, he'd be like, he'd be like, huh? You know, and then he would find a way to make that work with his own idea. Yeah. And make it like 10 times better than what we could have even imagined. And like, what a satisfying way to work. It's like just so respectful of everybody, but also so light.
Yeah, and I think it's something we wanted both on set to be like, we're telling something, like some of the scenes were really difficult in terms of like the intensity, the violence of it, but we didn't want the set to hold that like, to be heavy. Yeah. We, like, what we were shooting was important, but the process and making it, like, we should have fun still making it.
It's too much to also have, like, a dark, intense set because, like, then you just don't survive. We were in so many crazy situations that if we didn't have a good light spirit, I don't think it would have made a good movie in the end. Ariel is here with the camera. I get thrown into the pool. Mel is underneath the pool.
But you were such a trooper. Like, Nina, I can't believe you were just like, okay, Mel, I'm going to put my head in the toilet. Like, well, just FYI, it was a clean toilet.
Yeah, it was a brand new toilet.
Yeah, it was a brand new toilet.
We also had the joke.
And there was a pool also. There was all those kind of device we used to do that toilet scene. But it's so when you're in the scene, like this scene is so... I guess we should watch it because this scene...
Yeah, it was. That scene was crazy. And I also, like, you were like, it doesn't really look like you're holding your breath. Like, I think go further. Like, so much of the movie was you being like, you gotta go further. And me being like, okay. Like, we had a joke, too, that was like, Nina, I think you should do this. And me going, really? And you going, yeah. And I'm going, okay. Because I was just like, okay, like I can't see what it looks like. So yeah, let's do it. I'm going to just really actually hold my breath until I can't hold it anymore. So it really looks real.
Yeah. Because like
that's what happened.
Yeah, exactly. But it's so, and I wasn't doing it in terms of like, I want to make you suffer. Like it wasn't at all like that. It was just like, we're trying to achieve this visual. We're trying to make true to Sandra's story. Yeah. And if it looks fake, like that's not the goal. Like
exactly.
We really wanted, like but I think everybody wanted to honor Sandra. And honoring her was like making this film feel true to her military experience. And that involves making the military and the training and the action sequence look epic.
And real. Like
and real.
Yeah.
Let's like that toilet scene.
Yeah, let's do it. I was so happy when I saw it because I was like, now I see what you were talking about. And like, it looks real.
It looks real. All right. It's coming.
Yeah, that scene was so intense. And then when she's like chugging the beer.
You chug it for real.
Yeah, and like I felt like I was really in that. That was an immersive scene.
Yeah.
Cheers to the first female infantry officer.
Oh, I feel sad for Sandra in this scene.
Welcome to the Van Deers.
Je me souviens.
The famous Captain Perron. I've heard you're one tough cookie. Think you're ready to be a Van Deers?
Yes, sir.
Patties.
Hey, stop it! Stop.
Everybody has to do it, Perron.
What are your thoughts watching this?
That makes me sad, that scene, because it's so realistic. Like I even like forget that it's me in it. It's just like, it's really, the movie is so good, Mel. I just like watch that scene. I just really, really feel for her because it's
such a roller coaster of emotion. Because there's few moments in her training that like Sandra wanted to belong to the military. And at the beginning of the scene, this is what I wanted to show of like, and your performance is so amazing. Your smile of like being part of the Vendu, and you're like, Sandra is so into it. And then you get into that hazing moment, or you're just like, and at this point in the film, you saw like some harassment and some violence that she had to go through, and some like, so you're just like, oh gosh,
what's gonna happen?
What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And you're in her head, and you're just like, she doesn't know, like, and your performance, like I'm watching, I'm like, the toilet, my God,
I know
it looks so like it's like you're with her. I remember reading that part in the book and being like, oh, like it's so. Feels so disgusting, but at the same time, like, And then the roller coaster goes up again, that when she realized it's everybody has to go through it. So by doing it, she's part of the infantry, she's part of the crew, and she's excited, and then she chug, and then she cheers with them. So it's just like,
it's crazy. It's like terror, euphoria, like the ups and downs is just like it, and it makes me think about like her leaving the military and how long it would have taken to heal from something like that, because just on the level of regulation, like when you're in that situation, it's the craziness of that is enough to, you know, like make you go crazy. Because there's no regulation. She's living in fear all the time, but she's pretending not to be in fear. But she wants it so bad. But the thing that she wants is so painful. And then she gets recognition, or she becomes a part of the group, and then that's euphoric. Like that's actually euphoria, because that's everything she wanted. And the only way to get it is to go through pain and terror and fear. So it's just such a fucked up, like, abusive relationship, really. And like to heal from that, or to even get to a place of normalcy from that is like, I don't know. It's like I see that and I'm like, oh man, I just really feel for her.
Yeah. And what I think also it shows is like the subtlety of what harassment is. Like,
totally. And the complexity too.
The complexity, how she finally accept that. And there's a lot of resilience in Sandra, because she was just like this scene show the complexity of it.
Yeah.
Like she like they show the military, the crew, like they show that she belongs, but at the same time they're like, you're one door to be out of here, and like, so she's just like always playing.
And I could be carrying you because I'm gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
Or I can be carrying you because I'm gonna accept you.
Yeah.
Or I'm carrying you because I'm gonna hurt you, and in that way I'm gonna accept you.
Yeah.
And like that's also just part of, I think, that culture in general for everybody, but specifically to her, to have had the level of harassment that she went through, to then be like picked up again, and who knows, are they gonna put me outside for another 15 hours and like beat the shit out of me? You know, like, are they gonna come into my tent again and like, you know, harass me in that way? Like, you just never know what's gonna happen. And yeah, it reminds me of like a little kid, you know, like when you get thrown into situations, you have no idea what's happening, but you just want to belong. Yeah,
and they were little kids.
They were kids, yeah.
They were in their 20s.
Yeah.
Like, she was in her 20s when that happened. Let's talk about, do you have a scene that you want to watch and talk about?
Yeah, I want to see the running, go, 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 running through the field in the sunset that we got.
The montage sequence.
Yeah. Mel, he is so good. It's so good. I'm so impressed.
Enjoying the view?
Monkey bar. Here we go again.
You idiot! You're out! -2, down to 28. Next! Down to 43. Not even a fucking platoon. Next up, go! Up. Come on, contact here.
Yeah, okay, so the reason I love that the running through the field with the smoke so much. It felt like the two things that what we were playing in the movie, which is this is my happy place of like for Sandra. But for me as the actor too, like that is my happy place. Like this is all I've ever wanted, you know, to be, I'm running, doing the scene, the sun is setting, we're getting the exact shot that you wanted. Ariel is running. It feels so guerrilla. And it just felt so like this is how I want to make movies. So those, it's like what she was feeling and what I was feeling was exactly the same. Yeah. And that's why that exact moment is so like, it's my favorite. It's one of my favorite memories of the movie. Yeah. I went home that night and was just like, I could weep from that moment, you know?
Yeah. It's one of my favorite moments of the shoot as well.
It just was kind of like everything came together. It felt so like raw and real. And we were like really capturing something. And that's like, there's no bigger joy.
Yeah. And I remember being with Bethan, our first AD. Shout out to Bethan.
Amazing.
Like, she's an ex-military. Yeah. She's not an ex-military. She's a veteran. Mm-hmm. And but she's the first AD for now for a really long time now, and she has such an experience on being on the field, like both on set and in the military. And we shot that scene in Valcartier, and she helped us so much making that scene happen.
She did? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, because it was like, remember, it was a long day. Again, we were in like, shooting in Valcartier was pretty intense because we were shooting in remote places, and we have to bring all the facility and and we didn't know that day was going to be like good weather. Like in my head, it was like sunset, and we had all the SFX smoke. They had to dig some trenches.
Oh, yeah.
Like
there was a big thing that
there was different stuff that needed to be, and we had such a short amount of time to have this like magic hour shot. And you know, like in movie making, you always aim for that magic hour, and sometimes the cloud is there, sometimes it's clouds, sometimes there's something that's like doesn't make it happen. But this moment's like, and I think it's a big part of her making everything comes into like together. Yeah. And also, but everybody had so much fun. Like we were.
It was like we enjoyed because
everybody was just like, let's go.
Like it was.
And
like,
the reset
were there, sit there, go. Like it felt like the drill. Shooting it, and that's what made it so fun. Like, and
I was so like, I remember being really remote from the set because like the shot was
you had to be over there. I know
it was 360 kind of, and so and then between shot I was like running, going, giving direction, then heading back. Bethan was just like, and action. And we were like getting at the monitor, like after running, looking at. Okay, we got it. Then like moving, doing a different angle. It was just like
so fun
because we had to do this like in this before the sun was setting. No, it was a fun moment.
That was amazing. Like it was an amazing
and
moment.
The shot that we were making of like with the smoke and like no, it was an amazing.
And the possibility of danger too, because you're running. Like I'm running, I could fall. Like the camera is running. He did fall.
Yeah.
He fell and like did a weird flip. Like I was like, good thing you're a skater. The guys could have fallen. Yeah. Like there was an element of, we have to get this in a really short amount of time. Anything could happen. The danger of all of us getting hurt. It's the end of the day. It's like when you're skiing and it's the last run. Yeah. That's when people get hurt. Yeah. But like to have and still done it was the exhilarating part of it.
Yeah. No, it was a great moment.
Yeah. I loved that moment.
Oh. So is there a moment while you were playing Sandra, while we were shooting, that kind of shift your take on Sandra?
Oh, that's a good question.
Or like change like being her for so long, or for like in the different scenes. Is there something that you understood more of her as we were filming?
It's not like a moment, but I think as the shooting progressed and I realized being in those situations, even though they were made up, what this all entailed and how convoluted survival becomes. My original thing of like, Sandra, why didn't you? My angry, young, unknowledgeable self who just was like, you should have said that, or, you know, it became so clear that why she did what she did as we kept shooting it. Because it's like, it's a catch-22, the situation that she's in.
Yeah.
There's literally like the way to respond to those things happening to you. It doesn't make sense because you're damned if you say something and you're damned if you don't say something. And no matter what you do, if you do a good job, people are mad at you because you're better than them. So they're going to try and push you down. If you do a bad job, they're going to use the excuse of, we're not going to carry you through this, Sandra, just because you're a woman. So that became way more clear once we were in those situations. And my sort of like, like lack of knowledge, and then for that reason, like lack of understanding as to why she didn't want the story to come out, as to why she didn't tell people when she was sexually assaulted, as to why she didn't say anything when she was physically assaulted. I was so angry about that. And then when I was in that situation, it became so clear that that was the only way to respond.
And to survive. Yeah.
That was something that became clear. And it wasn't a moment. It was just being in those scenes on location, doing them over and over of like, whoa, what would I have done? Like, I don't know. I probably would have done the same thing, or I don't know. But that response became so much more clear as we learned more about the armed forces and then were in those situations. And then brought to that time frame. But to be honest, I don't think the time frame even really matters. I think it would be similar even now.
It just reminded me also a scene where we're shooting with the General Milton. Like, I don't know, I remember, like, this is a scene when she's like, he's accusing her of sending a threatening letter to the military, and she didn't.
Yeah, she didn't even do it.
And she says nothing. And she just, like he accused her, and he's like, you're going to make this letter disappear, and you're so good in this scene of, like, keeping it together and trying, like, and you can really understand why you're just sad now.
Well, because I think even being at the regiment and training and seeing the way people talk to each other, it's like there is, like, we work in the arts.
Yeah.
Everything's on the table. I feel this way. I can't do it. No, this is too much. Like, there's so much open communication because there has to be.
Yeah.
But that is a completely different world than their world. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, this makes now that I'm embodying this and like being in these situations, it's just like, you can't say anything. Not only that, you can't show that you want to say something.
Yeah.
Even if you want to say something. And so that became easier and easier to understand and to like play in a way.
We talked earlier about Sandra visiting you on set.
Yeah.
Sandra is a little cameo in the film.
Yes.
We ask her to be, you're going to see in the film that she's a waitress. But it's also a really strong scene in the film, and your performance in it is insane. Because I think it's the first time when really Sandra opens up about how she feels, because throughout the film we just see her keeping it for herself. We see her like going through really hard situation.
Yeah.
And then she just like say nothing. And then it's the first time she opens up, and that also how her body and how she feels about like opening up to this Sergeant Monroe character played by Enrico Colantoni, was like such an amazing. Let's watch the scene.
Oh, okay.
been thinking about you quite a lot today.
You and every other Canadian.
We'll never figure out who sent that photo. Not sure it matters at this point.
It matters to me, Sandra. I'll keep investigating. I have a hunch on who sent it to the press.
Would you like some coffee?
Yes, thank you.
I thought if I told them my side of the story, what it's been like for me as a soldier, how proud I'd always been to serve, maybe it would come out different. But they twisted it all up, and I thought if they reported on what really happened, I would spare my parents some pain. Put them through a lot this year.
It can be hard to protect those we love.
I've tried to explain it, even to myself. It's really hard.
Hey, try me.
The past 5 years have been like water torture. Every single day, a drop. Threats, isolation, gossip, name calling, cunt, bitch, slut. In the moment I said nothing because it seemed so insignificant, but day after day, drop after drop, it became unbearable. I couldn't just be a soldier. I had to represent all women all the time. I had to prove 20 times a day that I deserved to be there. I think I did that, right? Did I at least prove it could be done?
Sandra, you were a great soldier. And we should have done everything in our power to hold on to you. And that is a terrible, terrible shame.
Thank you.
You failed me?
Died, come on.
So, what a scene.
Yeah. How did it feel? Like,
Oh, yeah.
tell me a bit about that day. About that day.
Yeah, well, there's something about, firstly, so much of Sandra being there. There's two things I'll say. One is, I remember Sandra poured coffee and in one take she went, "You okay, sweetie?" or something. And I was just like, you know, because it was just so emotional. And then Rico is so, such an open guy. He's such a supporter, you know? And then, so anyways, that's one thing. But the second thing is, like, I felt so much pressure that day. It was like, Nina has to cry. Nina has to cry. This is the scene where Nina has to cry. This is the scene where it's very emotional.
Yeah.
And if you don't get to a certain place of emotion, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like it's just that type of scene. And
I think it was Enrico's first scene.
yeah, and also the first time she came to set.
Yeah. It was a lot. There was a lot going on. Like,
And I could feel everybody being like, this is a big scene. And so the pressure just felt like enormous. Like, I have to get this or else one of the biggest scenes of the movie will be bad. And also, And I couldn't. Like, the first few takes, I was just not there. Like, I was just like, and in between those takes, Sandra's like, remember that and I'm like, oh God, just don't. I was like, Sandra, no. Like, because then I'm even more pressured.
Yeah.
And then Rico, bless his heart, was just so supportive and never said a word. He just was with me. It was just like when someone takes your hand and doesn't have to say anything.
Yeah.
Like, he just was in front of me and he just sat there with me.
Yeah.
And you also were just like with me. There was no like, okay, Nina, now let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized that I wasn't breathing at all. I was just not breathing. Because I was like, and I didn't even understand that that's what was happening. And then the beginning of getting that take that we ended up using, I was just like, wait a second, I'm not even breathing. And then as soon as I like took a breath, a real breath, everything about the situation hit me, and I could actually feel what I felt that Sandra would be going through at that moment, and really listen to Rico and really feel Sandra's presence, which was, it's a really, that scene is just heartbreaking, you know, especially when he gives her permission.
Mm-hmm.
And once I started breathing, I could hear that permission. And then I just really could understand, I could go through those emotions. So yeah, it was
I think you can really even see it in the scene where the moment like you're listening to it at the beginning, which is like more like she's being like protective.
Yeah, and that's what I was doing as an actor. I was being protective because I was just like, everybody needs me to do a good job, and I don't know if I can do it. And then like all of a sudden it was like, wait, what are we really talking about right now? Yeah.
But it's such a beautiful performance, like, because we follow Sandra so closely throughout the film, where the camera is there with you like all the time, and we can feel everything what Sandra had to go through. And then for the first time, she's like opening up and she's saying what everybody is feeling like her, and this is what I wanted the movie to be, really up close and personal. And I feel this scene really show that, because when you're like saying it, like emptying your bag and just like saying it, what you felt, what she felt, it's such a relief. But it's physically a relief. Even like I just watch it with you, and I could say
there's the relief of saying it out loud, and the writing is so good that with every word, it had a reaction in me, because the writing is so evocative of her experience that it's painful to just say it, and that pain like translates into performance.
Yeah, I remember writing that's like paragraph of like drop by drop. Like I remember like being like kind of like I was like putting everything in, like it was just like, I don't know, there was something in me when I co-wrote the film with Martine, but I remember like this first idea of like the drop by drop and everything that was just like, and then we reworked together that sequence.
That's why it's such an evocative
because paragraph. It was something that was like deep inside of me, of like, for me, I was just like, it makes sense, but it needs to be kind of just like a bit confused, like not confused, but she's just saying one thing.
She's just saying what's coming to her head, and that's what the writing felt like.
Yeah, it was just like he's saying, open up, and she's just like, okay, I'm gonna open up, but it's the first time she's opening up, so it's going like in all direction a bit, like, you know, it's going to, it's something really physical.
Yeah, it's so true. It's really physical, and it's like a messy sequence of saying it.
Yeah.
But that's how you would.
Exactly.
Like, she didn't plan a speech.
Like an organized thought of how, like, we just saw a woman throughout the film not say anything. So the first time she's saying, she cannot be like, so.
This is what I felt. No, it's true. And she's also never in the position to be able to, someone never gives her the chance of like, well, what did it feel like for you?
Yeah.
You know?
And someone in the military. That's
Yeah.
what Monroe like is for. Like it's the first time someone in the military is saying like, I'm here to hear you. Tell me your story.
Yeah.
And it kind of, and like, this is one of the liberty we took from the real story. Like that character of Monroe, like it's kind of a mix of different people in the book. But there's one general that once told Sandra, tell me your story. Tell me what happened. Tell me what we did wrong. Tell me what happened, why you quit. And that's what Monroe is for in the film, of like, let her open up to the military. We're looking back. So now some time has passed. You watched the film. You know it's going to be released at TIFF. What does the experience of Outstanding mean to you now?
Oh my God. Now what does it mean? Very life affirming for me. Like really, because it was such a big thing in my life and in my career to get to do something like this. It felt like life affirming. When I say life affirming, it's like some things are just yours, you know, and some things aren't. But the things that are yours, they really are yours.
Yeah.
And you can feel them. Like the whole experience, it felt so right for me. And when something that big feels so right for you, it creates like something stable in you, because all of a sudden, and I've told you this before, I can trust that being who I am and not bending because I think that's what people need of me, really leads me to things that are meant only for me. And that stable feeling has just changed my life and my career a lot, because there's so much less, like, it's like an anchor, and there's so much less fear and sadness for things that don't work out for me as an actor, because it just created something so stable that it can't be shook in those different ways. So, and you're a huge, huge part of that. Like, straight up, you are. And I've told you that before. Like, you really were life affirming for me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was such a pleasure. It was a pleasure, an honor. It was, what a creative journey we went through.
It was amazing. It was big, too. Like,
it was so huge. It was epic. It was...
Yeah.
Everything as a director I wanted for this film. And you impersonate a Sandra that like is so, I don't know, like you made this, like it was really complex to create Sandra. And you made it, you made her look tough. You made her look light. You made her look like you show your performance shows the complexity of Sandra, and that's like beautiful and crazy. And yeah, as the roles stay with you in some unexpected ways, did it change you?
Absolutely, it changed me. Like, that's without a doubt. I guess it made me, so much of this story is about like a person, not so much of this story, but there is an element of the story of like trusting yourself, because in the end she was like, okay, then I'm leaving, you know, and that's honoring yourself. And her whole journey, she honors herself, even though that's so hard in that situation where you just have to be a sheep.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you're the black sheep and no one wants you there.
Yeah.
It's like she honored herself from the beginning to the end. And I think the movie, like, it's like that happens to her as a character. But then for me as an actor, to be part of something that was so right for me reaffirmed honoring my own self. And that has like been the biggest thing that I've taken away from it, because it's created just that like sureness in what I always felt was the right way to be. But yeah, that sureness has stayed with me for sure. And I know that that's also part of her story, which is I'm sure of what I'm doing. I'm doing everything from a place that really comes from inside of me, not because I'm seeing other people do it and I think that I should act that way. It's no, I personally, based on my soul, believe that I should do this. And like that I've definitely taken away from it and has made it like have taken that aspect of her and the whole experience that I had, I've taken that with me.
It's so, like, you just made me realize that it's one of the takeaway of making this film for me as well.
Really?
Of like, you know, in the book she's talking about protecting her tree, like, you know.
Yeah.
Like
someone is cutting her uncle when she goes to his like retreat.
Yeah.
It's like someone has just been cutting all the apples off your tree.
Yeah.
And you need those apples for yourself, or it was some kind of metaphor.
But you need, and she's saying you need to protect your own roots.
Yeah, your roots. Yeah.
You need to protect it. And it's something that stayed, like, I don't think before making that film I was like, I think there's also a part of the process. Like, I made this film as also I became a mother.
Yeah.
And so to become a mother and a filmmaker, I needed to protect my roots. And I didn't realize it, that it's like a takeaway from Sandra's story.
Yeah.
Because if I will have been like, if I want to be the best as a mother and the best as a director and a filmmaker, I needed to protect my roots somehow. Otherwise, I would just give away all of everything, all my energy I had. Like, so I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
You said it. Oh, yes. Final thing. So I think I'm giving you the interviewer microphone for the end of this. Oh. So I ask you a lot of questions. Do you have any question or something you want to share for me? Like a question that you want to ask me?
So I think this was a really hard project for you and a really long project for you. Like, there's just so much more involved than just the shooting. If we're talking about like protecting yourself and everything she went through, like overall this experience, what was the main way in which like you changed as a person because of it and as a filmmaker? Because it's such it took you so much longer than what we did, and it took a lot from you. But I know that you had your own ways of protecting yourself and being like, this is just, I simply can't. I have to put on my blinders at a certain point. Like, did making this movie change the way you approached your next movie and like the rest of your career?
Ooh. It definitely, like, I see filmmaking as you're going in a boat with a bunch of people. Some of them you know, some of them you don't. And then you're going like all around the world and you're going through all those storms, moment of joy, moment of starvation, moment of fear. And you're going back home and you just said, whew, that was intense. Like, and you don't like, and every film is like going again on that tour.
Circumnavigation of the world.
So every time you get more experience of like, oh, remember when we did this, there was this storm and it's slightly different, but it just happened and sometimes there's the same people on the boat with you. Sometimes there's new people and you're just like, you're becoming, and I'm steering the wheel. I'm like, woo, let's go on this direction. So every time I feel I'm becoming a better navigator of all this. But on this project, I had a baby on board with me. Like, so when I learned that I got the movie green lit, 2 weeks prior to this, I learned that I was expecting a baby. So there was those two super good news that didn't really quite fit together because both of the timing were the same. Like I was going to give birth to that baby and we were expecting starting prep 2 months, 1 month, like after I gave birth, but I never gave birth. So I never had a baby. So I didn't know what to expect and how to deal with it. And so it was really a challenging time. And so I learned, like at the beginning, I was just like, okay, after 2 months, I'm gonna be back, and then after 2 months, I went in my home with my boyfriend. I was just like, I will never do this. I'm so like I was in postpartum hormones. Like I was lacking of sleep. I was just so. I couldn't I was seeing the energy that movie requested me to have to make, to go in the trenches with you, to be so on, that I was just like, I can't do it. I won't do it. I won't be able to do it. So it was a long process, and I always been somebody saying yes and saying I'll do it. This is my Sandra.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'll do it, and I'll do it with the baby. And then just realizing that at that moment, after 3 months I had the baby, I was just like, I cannot make it. I won't be able. My body protecting my roots. I was just like, I cannot do it. We need to postpone the shoot. If you want me, and even saying postpone, everybody was like, when are you gonna do it? And I was just like, I don't know, in 9 months, 12 months, everything was new, and there was not, and
there was no timeline
I didn't have a lot of director around me that went through the same thing. So I had to listen to myself, and that was something hard because I never really listened to this because I was always, yes, in shape, full of energy. So, and one of my biggest quality, which was I have a lot of energy and I can do everything.
Yeah.
Wasn't there. So I didn't even recognize myself.
Yeah.
So so what I learned, the biggest takeaway from making this film was learning how to be a mom and a filmmaker.
Yeah.
I will never have done it without my partner. My partner was so supportive and was so in with me at every step, making it I started working again when the baby was 9 months. We went into pre-production. She was a year old, and then we started filming. She was 14 months. It was really tough for my partner because she was I was still breastfeeding. It was just everything was, and it was funny because I felt being a mother, I wasn't fully a mother and I wasn't fully a filmmaker because I had to split myself between those two things that I love.
Yeah.
And I was just maybe I'm missing a part of my motherhood. Maybe I'm missing a part of building this film. And I remember my telling my boyfriend, it was just and realizing also, I was just from now on, it's just going to be different, the ways I'm making film from that it used to be.
Yeah.
And that means that I'm going to say no more sometimes. That means that I need to protect my roots and save my energy. That means that putting more my limit and protecting me. And at the end, it's just going to makes me now a better filmmaker because I'm my body and my brain are my tools.
Yeah.
And I need to protect them to perform the most on set and on prep and have that my brain is connecting the dots at the right time. So right now it's really about this. And I shot another film in last spring. So my daughter was a bit older. It was a bit different. But that was something I wanted to really work on. So yeah. I think it's one of the biggest, because the film that we shot is the film I had in mind. There's not any single image of that film. I've been working for, 5 years on that film.
Wow.
And I co-wrote it. So like all of it was in my head. So I'm so proud of the film we make. It's exactly the film I wanted it to be. But in that experience, so I had to, like, there was this little detour of like, oh, I'm bringing somebody else on board, which is my little girls. And like, I had to navigate this new world tour with that baby.
Wow, Mel.
So I think that's the thing that changed me the most making this film. So Nina, anything else you want to add? Or is there?
No, I've said everything.
I want to thank you for crafting Outstanding with me. It was such a pleasure. It was such an honor, like I said, but it was also such a wonderful experience, intense and fun, and like I wish we could do a second one. Like we won't do Outstanding 2, but they won't. And I can't wait for the public to watch the film, watch your performance. You're so incredible. Like people were watching the trailer and they were just like, who's like, that girl is insane. Like we can see so much going on into your eyes. You're like so incredible. I love you so much. We're expecting a baby.
I love you, Mao.
Yeah. Thanks so much for coming, for playing with a part of this podcast. And
thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thank you.